It's not playing. It's not playing, Laura.
What happened?
I don't know. I don't know what happened. Let me add me back to the stage.
Huh.
Dude, what the hell's going on?
You broke it.
Hasta Houston entero, trabajando fuerte con mi compañero. En cada casa dejábamos lucero, rojo, verde, blanco, dorado, sincero. Ya no era el mismo muchacho de enero, ahora caminaba como hombre verdadero. Con dinero en bolsa y orgullo obrero, me gané respeto siendo instalador primero. No era trabajo normal, era algo especial, una luz profesional. Si quieres algo diferente, vente con la gente. Aquí se trabaja fuerte, pero se gana decentemente. Aquí se aprende diariamente y se crece con la mente. No vengas solo por suerte, ven con ganas de hacerte fuerte. Kingdom abre la puerta enfrente pa' quien trabaja honestamente. Luces arriba, Houston prendido. Kingdom en la casa, trabajo bendecido. Techo por techo, casa por casa, sonrisas prendidas. La bendición no pasa. Con Kingdom Christmas Lights cambió mi vida. Gané más de lo que antes yo creía. Instalando luces por toda la avenida, viendo caras felices todo el día. Houston brillaba y mi alma sonreía. Mi familia orgullosa ya lo sabía.
What do you think about that song, Laura?
I never heard it before. It's pretty good.
You never heard of that song before?
You got a lot going on today. You know,
Jeez, we are just getting like the worst something on the back end here. But what's going on, everybody? Today is what is it? Wednesday. It's every single Wednesday at 3:00. We have something going on. We had Mynor Mendoza from the Pixel store. He was supposed to be on the show last Wednesday, but instead we went to Universal Studios, and we didn't get back till Wednesday. We were at the airport, and I didn't think that was a really good idea to do that. And then you might have seen we were at the Kentucky Derby. And then somehow I made it to church the next night. And I'm just now recuperating. We have a bunch of people on live, and let's bring on the star of the show. You want to talk some RGB? It was just the 4th, May 4th. Would the 4th be with you? Some Star Trek, calling all nerds kind of situation. But let's get after it. We got Mynor Mendoza. What's up, brother?
What's going on, guys?
What'd you think about that Spanish song?
Oh, it was cool. I never heard it before. I was like, I guess you made that one.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was, I don't know, it's supposed to be like a recruiting tool. Yeah, little Spanish songs. But we had for some reason, like I have a mixing board that Laura and I share, and I had the YouTube going from the show, and I was like hearing myself in the thing. I was like, what the hell is going on? But we finally got all the technical difficulties in there. And when you talk about RGB, you always got some customer support issues, but I think we got it all figured out. Looking good. We're good. All right. So yeah, Laura, lead the show, baby girl.
Oh, really?
Yeah, let's do it.
So Ron always makes jokes that RGB and is whatever is like a nerdy thingy. So I'm going to test your nerdiness.
Oh my! Oh no! I think you're about the wrong person.
Oh, okay. Well, I noticed that you like haunt conventions. Is that something that you like to do?
Yeah. So like, the long story short, I actually started. I run my own Halloween haunt. Like we started as a home haunt, and we grew too big, and the city came and said, you need to get it off your front yard. We had like 20 rooms in our front yard. They're like, no, you got to go commercial. You got to get out of here. You're getting way too many people. And so that's where I actually came into the RGB side because of the haunt and what I did with the haunt.
That's cool.
This like trans world all over again.
It's like,
right?
it's like somebody that's actually into the stuff. What about Christmas? Are you die hard into Christmas as well?
My wife is the person that's into Christmas. She loves Christmas. So I mean, I think you could see a little bit. We still have the garland up. You can see we have garland up still. That's like year-round stuff. In the front, we have blow molds that stay up year-round. She's like, we're keeping them up, and I have to do it because otherwise she won't let me do my haunt. So it's a fair trade. I think it's all fair. So I'm all for it. So I've gotten into it a little bit more now that I run the business. I'm like, all right, well, hey, check this out. Why don't you try this out for your show and see if you like it. If you don't, then I don't think the customers are going to like it. So it kind of is a win-win now.
Sweet. Wow, that's something cool.
Yeah, where do you live, bro? Where do you live?
I'm in Apple Valley, California, and for most people, they have no clue where that is. We're if you've ever been driven up to Vegas from LA, you've probably passed our town and didn't even know it. Yeah, we're right next to Victorville. I tell people we're about an hour and a half north of LA, and then they're like, "Oh, I know where that is." And
yeah.
Well,
what do your neighbors say? What's your neighbors say about you always have this stuff going on? I'm sure they have an opinion of it, right? They love it.
Most of the neighbors love it. It's because there's nothing to do. Remember, when you're in a small town, and when I say small town, I'm talking about California small, not small town like going to Kansas small town where it's 1,000 people or less. Like we still have like 40,000 people. Like it's not a small town, but it's a small town in LA, California. That's a small town. So for us, it's something for them to do. It gives them something to come and watch and check out and take their kids. But you always have that one Grinch. We call them Grinches. We always have that one Grinch, that one
Karen
tries to shut you down. And that's actually how our home haunt became a commercial haunt, because of that one person. Everyone loved it because we invited all our neighbors, come through, enjoy it, come as many times as you want. But that one neighbor was like, nope, don't like it, shut it down. And and if you live in an HOA, it's much worse. But definitely, like I tell people, if you love doing it, keep doing it and figure out a way around it. We tried for a couple of years, but decided that commercially was the best way for us to go.
It's awesome.
What you got, Laura?
Okay, so my first nerdy question: Walking Dead or Marvel?
Oh man, I love Marvel. I grew up with the X-Men characters, the Saturday night cartoons, and so definitely for me it's going to be. But I love The Walking Dead. See, the thing is, Marvel, The Walking Dead was so good until like season 6, and then it just felt like
it kind of went down.
It was just a spiral after that. It just became a money grab, and I'm like, so I'm gonna say Marvel overall. Marvel. Yeah.
And your favorite character, Marvel character?
Wolverine. Hands down,
Wolverine.
I couldn't even pronounce the word Wolverine growing up. So now it was my favorite character. Hands down, the best movie, Logan. If you've never seen it, you got to watch it. It's just one of the best movies ever. It makes a grown man cry. You know, it's just one of those
it does.
when I saw he died, I was like, oh no,
we're done.
Wow.
I'm just done with it.
Like Wolverine doesn't die, but he died in that movie. So definitely, that's one of those movies that I tell people you got to watch.
Totally.
You done?
No, I'm gonna interject my this or that's all the way through. Go ahead.
All right. So anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Ron. I'm with Kingdom Christmas Lights and ChristmasContractor.com. We sell lights. We do Christmas lights. That's what we do. If it's your first time to the podcast, definitely like and subscribe to us. We appreciate you coming on. We have plenty of people here. If you have any questions, definitely ask me questions. But let's start with the most basic part is, who is Mynor Mendoza and what is your pixel store? Because you own that company, correct?
Yes. I'm the owner. We started about 5 years ago. Actually, our 5-year anniversary would be in July of this year. So we started about 5 years ago. We started literally with just pixels. And my son started the name. He's like, just call it your pixel store, you know, and we've grown to over 400 products now. You know, a lot of the stuff is in-house stuff that we felt that pretty much was lacking or wasn't available to the masses. So and what was available, we tried to make it better and make it easier. Long story short, for me, I was a teacher for 20 plus years, teacher, coach for 20 years, and ended up doing Christmas lights. It kind of fell on my laps and I ran with it. So I'm no longer teaching. I've taught at the highest levels. So I just walked away from it and said, hey, I did it for 20 years. I'm good. So now all I do is Christmas lights.
Hell yeah. Well, awesome. And Halloween, no? And
Halloween, that's right. Christmas. Holiday decoration displays. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, light shows and all that.
Light shows and stuff, yeah.
All right, what you got, Laura? You got something? I know we probably have a picture with him indirectly from Transworld. That's what I'm looking at.
Oh, is that what you're looking for? So May the 4th would be with you is not Star Trek, my love, is Star Wars. So is it Star Wars or The Godfather? Which one?
Star Wars, hands down. It's Star Wars, hands down. I can watch that literally 24/7, just putting on a loop. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be the cartoons. It could be it's just I can watch it all the time. It's we just sometimes like, hey, you're bored, let's watch it. And so we take time to watch it. And, when people talk about Star Trek, it just like makes me want to vomit. Like, oh no, when they compare it, I'm like, no, there is no comparison. Star Wars all the way.
That's so true.
Yeah, I grew up down the street from USC too, and George Lucas is like a Trojan alumni. So I'm like, oh yeah, it's enough. That's it. I'm a Star Wars fan for life.
I think you posted that, didn't you, about the George Lucas?
I did. Cool. I'm an alumnus from USC as well, so I, fight on. It just all fell in my lap of just awesomeness. George Lucas, Star Wars. All right, fine. I'm going to be a Star Wars fan for the rest of my life.
Perfect.
Is that a requirement to be an RGB? Because we had what's his name?
It's just coolness.
What's his name?
Coolness.
It is Paul.
Paul Hayden.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this dude. Is it Star Wars? Does that say it right?
Yes,
Star correct. Wars. This dude is a super fan also.
Yeah, there's levels to the nerdness. No, like I feel like I'm at the lower tier of nerdness. Super, but the thing is, the super nerds are like highly intellectuals. Like
true.
I'm like, they make me look cool, and I'm not a cool guy at all.
Yeah, you're like the beach bum surfer nerd kind of in comparison.
Yeah, that there's like levels to the nerdness. Sometimes when they're talking, I'm like, all right, you guys are above the nerdness for me. I'm like, I'm like lost right now, and I'm pretty like versed in a lot of stuff, but sometimes they take it to the next level, and I'm like, sorry guys, I'm gonna have to just go drink my beer over here because I don't know what you guys are talking about.
You know Joseph Murphy?
I do.
Yeah, he like having a conversation with him. It's hard to keep up with him because he keeps using like so many, very intellectual things, and he's describing it with actually probably what the actual name is. And it's like, can you make it like, you know, so dummies can understand? I mean, how hard is it to actually do RGB? And can someone like me, who I can install Christmas lights and run crews, but can someone like me get into the RGB business? Is it hard or what?
No, it's gotten a lot easier now. I feel like we're in the front of making it easier. When we, like I said, when we started the business, we were just selling pixels, but then we started looking at the overview of everything that was going on. We're like, this isn't an easy thing to do for people right now, but it has to become easy in order for the masses to want to do it. And so we started developing stuff to make it easier for people. And I think after 5 years, we've gotten to the point where most people can do it. It just takes a little bit of effort to figure it out. And the most important thing is if you're able to plug in some wires and able to download an app, you should be able to run a show now. That's how easy it's gotten. If you're able to do any of those things, you're able to set up RGB now. Before, I would say it was a lot harder because you would actually have to know how to program, how to set up the stuff in a computer. You don't even need a computer anymore with an app. With an app now, you're ready to set up and put a show up.
Wow.
Yeah, because the only experience that we have with RGB, with the exception of permanent lighting, is Twinkly. And we did the Twinkly drive-through tunnel. We did the Twinkly curtain at the Mustang Cat, 100-foot Twinkly curtain on top of a building that had, you know, American flag and stuff. That is a lot easier. I think the 5th time I did it, I had all the controllers right and they were numbered and this is the right one. So I didn't have to, you know, map it out with your iPhone. But, you know, when one of those stops working and it's the middle of the Christmas season for us, every second is so freaking valuable. And if you call someone and you can't get them to help you because you're on a roof and it's whatever time it is, and you know, if you have to go back tomorrow, that could be like a $10,000 difference that you could have made tomorrow. Instead, you're messing with this RGB that's not working, or when the power went out and it came back on, now it's not sequenced, or this one little section ain't right. That for me was like, whoa, I don't know if it's worth doing RGB in the middle of the season. But then I see guys like Michael Simmons and they're like, oh, that's $100,000 project and that's a $80,000 project. And it's like no big deal that they're doing these huge projects. I'm thinking maybe that the money's there and my knowledge ain't there, or I'm just going with some cookie cutter Twinkly Pro, but RGB is not as complicated, or what's the deal with that?
So, I mean, with RGB, there is, you know, the complication of currently, let's talk about what's available from most of the other vendors. You're talking about bullet pixels. You probably use bullet pixels and you're pushing them into props. And if one dies out, it takes out a whole roll and takes out like a whole mass of lights. And you're like, okay, how do I repair that? Well, the only way you can repair it is by having somebody there with the knowledge. And if you're not there, Ron, then there's probably nobody else. That's kind of how a lot of projects
exactly work. That's exactly right. Yeah.
And so that's one of the things that we had been working on for the last 3 years. We're like, well, in order for us to get to a point where, you know, people like you, Ron, or people where when you're not there and you need somebody to fix it, how do we create something that allows somebody else that doesn't have the skill set to do that? And that's how we came up with the Pixel Pop, the YPS Pixel Pop. The YPS Pixel Pop is basically the first RGB non-splicing repairable pixel. And I can show you guys that
Let's
right
do
here.
It. Yeah. Let's do it.
So the Pixel Pop is pretty much, these are the new Pixel Pops, if you guys can see them. And the cool thing about them is, let's say you have to do a repair. You pop it off and you pop it back on and you're done. That's it. There's no splicing of the wires, because, you know, this is the bullet pixel wired. It's similar wiring, similar diameter, similar everything. Everything works exactly the same. IP66 rated, so you can use them outdoors with no issues. Again, hey, this pixel's out. Oh my God! All right, boom. Pretty much anyone can do that. It doesn't take any tools to do it. You might need, you know, maybe some pliers if it's raining outside just to get a grip on it. But you can see I'm grabbing on pretty tight to it, and then I pull it out. It literally pops out and pops back in. And you know, the idea behind it was to make it easier to make those repairs when the skilled person isn't there.
Yeah.
And the beauty about it is with the homeowners,
wow,
even the homeowner can do the repair, or you can hire a handyman, because some homeowners don't want to do anything. They're like, hey, I paid you to come fix it. I paid you, the warranty, everything. Then you can hire a handyman that comes in, pay him $50. He goes up there, pops it out, pops another one in, show's ready to go. You just saved a ton of money, and it's all about time. It's all about, time and money for when you're doing installations. And you can see right there, literally when it's there, you're going to pop it off. The light's still working. You notice that the rest of the lights are not off. So that's the beauty about it as well. It doesn't leave a whole hole of lights that are completely turned off. It's just that one light that is wrong. You change it, pop it back in, and you're done. It's been really popular with the commercial people because that's exactly what they were looking for. Hey, Ron isn't here, Mynor isn't here, but I have Joe Smo. He could do that for us. He can repair it for us and put it in there and call it a day.
The drive-through guy on a smoke break,
Exactly. Hey, you're just not. It's for the most people. You only have one skilled set. Usually you only have one skilled person there. If they're not there or they're on a break somewhere, somebody else has to step in. And what ends up happening is when you have the regular bullet pixels, which work perfectly if you have a ton of people with skill sets, is that they wired incorrectly. And now you burnt a whole string. You took out a whole controller. And now you're like, oh my God, what else do I have to do? With these, you don't have to worry about that. It just makes it so much easier to just install them and know that anybody could do it, and they're keyed. So even if Joe Smo has no idea what side it's supposed to go, there's only one way to put it in.
Right.
And you can't screw it up. And so it makes it so much more convenient, so much easier for everyone to be able to do it now. I personally think that this was the direction that Pixel should have been going. And that's the technology wasn't there until this year. So we started testing them last year, but the technology caught up after 3 years. I had this in mind for 3 years. Finally, the technology caught up, and now we're selling them. And the commercial people really love them because of the time savings and the ease of use. They don't have to worry about people making mistakes with the wiring.
What's your deal like? Because anybody who's in the Christmas light industry has received a call from someone that says, I'd like to do an RGB light show at my house. Most people like us have said, I don't do that during this time, but if you would have called me at this time or that time, the answer might have been yes, which is a lie. But the answer would have been yes, but right here where I'm busy, we just do Chris. But they'll say they have a $15,000 budget and they have this and that. Is this something that if you just don't want to do it, do you have like they could call you, or you have a network of people, maybe someone in their area could do it, or they could pass a lead to you, or you could teach them how to do it, or what?
We could do both. So we have people that work in house. The cool thing about the RGB setup with the controllers, we can set them up with remote access. So our people that we have a couple of people in Florida, guy in Utah, a couple of, they're all over the place. They can log into a computer and do the work for you remotely, as long as there is access to that controller. And it's all just setting it up through Wi-Fi, if that's what you want. If you decide like, hey, I don't want to be involved at all, then you can send them our way, and then we have different people that can walk the person through the process. So there's referral fees for that, of course. Like, hey, you set us up, here's a referral fee, thank you so much. We can also set you up with like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing, but can you help me learn? We can guide you and say, this is what we recommend for this project. You tell us what the project is. We can tell you what we recommend, and what we would do in that situation, and try to keep it as simple as possible. My job as somebody that runs this, we run a commercial drive-through up in Michigan as well. Simplicity is the goal for us.
Right.
We want as simple as possible. When I'm not there, when my partner Kyle's not there, how do we make it simple where somebody that doesn't have the skill sets that we do are still able to keep the show running? And so we always think about simplicity and how do we make it simple for our customer, being the commercial installer in this situation.
All right, let me shoot my own foot off right here, and then Laura will get back to the questions. I'm gonna shoot my own foot off here. Yeah, we sell permanent lighting, we sell Invisilights, but when we went through like all the different manufacturers, they're all pretty much the same, like Jellyfish, Gemstone. It's all like pretty much the same stuff for the most part. And so I was looking at this. I have a customer that's like, hey, I have this backyard, and this person is an NFL player, for example. But there's a lot of them out there, and they're like, man, I just want this thing just to be lit. And then you're like, all right, so you want, like, for example, these are the bistro lights right here. So you're like, hey, I want to do bistro lights that changes colors, and then I want to put maybe something around the bar that has some animation, and I want this. I've been searching for the last 2 years to find something. I did speak to Brian Schreiner. You probably know him. But, 6-7 months goes by before he calls you back kind of stuff. And it's like, dude, I can't do business like that. I need something that I'm going to put it up there and I'm not back and I don't know how to get the replacement parts or it doesn't work. I need something for sure that works. So I don't want to put my name on it. You know what I mean? And I seen that you had the bistro lights. And then I also seen that you had some landscape lighting, and I'm sure you have some strip lighting that probably you can put around a bar. It's not really that advanced, but it could all work together with an app. Or is that realistic, or is that what you offer?
Yeah, that's exactly what we offer. So the permanent lighting, you can run it if you notice, if you look at the pathway lights on the bottom left corner, you notice that there's a warm white and cool white. Yeah. A lot of people run them like that most of the year. And then there's a holiday, there's a special event that comes through. That's where the app comes in. And we've worked with Experience Lights to create a controller, the Vivid 8 controller. That's our in-house controller for your Pixel store. And the beauty about it is that there's an app now from Experience Lights on iPad, the iPhone right now, and we'll get it on Android hopefully pretty soon in the summer, that allows you to just literally connect everything that you just talked about, plug it in on one of the 8 ports. You press a button on the app and it changes the colors instantly. You can change it. There's effects already built in. We already have the major holidays, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's, 4th of July, Halloween, etc. There's 12 of them. So we already have holiday colors already there. So we took the guessing out of that. So you just press a button and it just sets those up. And basically it goes through different effects with those colors for those holidays. So it literally made it simple for your guy to be like, hey, I want it purple today. Go on the app, press purple, and you're done. That changes the landscape lights. That changes the permanent lighting. That changes, even if you have a mega tree, you add a mega tree, all of a sudden the guy says, hey, this is so easy, I want to add a mega tree. Then you have a mega tree there. So all of it would change as long as it's all connected to the 8 ports that we have on the controller.
So so I guess someone could call you because you seem like really approachable and easy to, just contact you because you do the customer support as well.
Yes. So the number that's on the website, that's my cell phone. That's my direct cell phone.
Wow.
So I know that a lot of
it never hardly rings, right?
Yeah. I know that a lot of business owners, a lot of owners refuse to put their thing on there, but the reason that your Pixel store was able to grow was because of that customer support. We were able to, they were able to actually reach somebody and say, hey, Mynor, I'm looking for this now. Like they're like, hey, there's a project that just came up and I need it for this weekend. That's, they're able to get a hold of me. So that's the beauty about it. So yeah, they're reaching me. And if they're, if I'm not able on the phone, they can reach us via email. We have 2 people that are working emails. So we've grown to now we have, 2 people working for the support group. So we're definitely able to support you via email or via phone, or sometimes Messenger on Facebook isn't the greatest just because there's so many messages that come through. And I'm sure it's similar to you guys. You get so many messages. Sometimes you look at it, you're driving, you a quick glance, you forget about it. So Messenger is not the way to go. For me, it's phone. I call my phone 90% of the time. I'll answer, or email. It's best way. If you're in no rush, then email us and we'll get back to you within 2 days of the email.
Wow. All right. Now, most people have permanent lighting, but there's not many companies that have figured out yet how to put permanent lighting and to have the landscape lighting and other things all work together. That's something you guys do, right?
Yes. So that's the cool thing about the landscape lights and everything. They all work together. So basically the way that we would set it up is like port 1 and port 2 would do all the permanent trim around your house. And then we would tell you to allocate ports 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 to all the permanent landscape lights around the property. So then we can spread it out and make sure that every port, it knows exactly what they're doing, and then get enough power to each one of them. Because that's one thing with the RGB. Usually it's 12 volt or 24 volt. We're pushing a lot of 24 volt so we can go further down the line. So with the 12 volt, we do run into limitations of how many lights we can run per port. So we will try to guide you and tell you, hey, this is how many you can run before you run into issues. And this is what we recommend you do after that, so you can fix that.
So you don't have power injections and all that?
Power injection, exactly. So with power injection, so let's say we were doing the landscape lights, the ones that you just showed us, we could do maybe 6 before we need power injection. And then and the beauty about the Vivid 8 controller, we have power injection directly from the ports, from the controllers. Mm-hmm. So it's now running directly, so that limits the error that people are running into. The errors that a lot of people are running into before was, well, I have to run power to the end, but I have to remember to run the ground and connect the grounds together. Otherwise, you're going to run into a lot of issues. We took that away by having the power injection directly from the controller to the end. So you don't have the guessing games are out of it. You don't have to worry about that anymore.
And you guys sell track and everything. Is this your track, or what's going on with this track?
Yeah, so that's our track. That's
the lights actually come in the track, right?
So that's our sample track. The cool thing about that is that that's a sample, so you can tell the different spacing. We have 1-inch spacing, 2-inch spacing, and 3-inch spacing, and then we have the puck track. The puck track comes with the light already, so you can see what it looks like. The trim, the other 3 trims, it doesn't, because we have so many options with the type of lights that can go in there that we don't send it with the options. We have been asked, are we going to have the suitcase, the sample suitcase for people? We've already been asked that. So we're working on that. We weren't thinking about it, but we've had so many people ask that we're probably going to just create our own little suitcase of people so they can have the sample that they can offer people. It's definitely something that multiple people have asked, so we're working on it already.
That's a good price on these pucks.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So the cool thing about the puck track is that, when you buy the puck track, I don't know if you see the puck track on it. So that's individual repair puck. Okay. So that's just the individual pucks. But if you actually
a set of 5 for like $8.99.
Yeah. So it's like less than $2 per repair. It's a heck of a price. For repairing, and we're actually getting to the point where we'll have the replaceable puck as well, so you won't even have to cut the wires for that as well. We're getting to that as well. So we're working on all non-splicing, so you don't have to worry about cutting it. A lot of the installers are professional, so it's not that difficult. It's the difficulty when the homeowner has to do it because he's no longer there, or you're going to have to drive out there to do it. So if you're able to hire it out to somebody locally and easier and cheaper, that's what we've heard the installers want. Can you make it easier? It's all about easy. Can you make it easier? Can you save us money by doing this? They look at the price of the package. They don't look at the price of the individual products. So I think that's what I've noticed about installers. They want to see, how much is it going to cost me 3 years from now? Not just installing and buying it now. How much is it going to cost me 3 years from now? How many repairs am I doing per year? If they're doing a ton of repairs, they're losing money. So the idea behind that is, how do you simplify that? How do you make it easier, where if I do have to do a repair, I don't have to do it. Maybe I can hire, somebody locally to do it cheaper, where I don't have to drive out 2-3 hours to do it.
Cool.
Laura, what you got?
It's a lot. We have processing this a little bit.
So if you have a Omni or Visilights or something like that, or Twinkly, if you already have another product that's already from that one, can you integrate your products with that?
Some of the products you can. There are some proprietary stuff out there that doesn't allow you. With some tinkering, you can make them work.
Because like this right here, the bullet track.
We like tinkering.
Yeah.
The bullet track, like I had, when Murphy was at our warehouse, he was like, look, these are just regular old pixel lights. I mean, I know it says Twinkly, but I mean, they're all just, you could, intercourse or code or whatever the hell he said. But he was like, man, you could use this with this and this. You just have to understand how RGB works.
Bingo.
So when he said that, it was like, I don't know how RGB works. So how does it work?
I mean, basically the simplest way to describe it is you have to send a data signal to the lights. Unlike we call them dumb RGB or dumb lights, you just plug them in and they turn on and do a color. With pixels, we call them most of the lights, we call them pixels. With the pixels, you basically have to send data to them to tell them what to do. If you don't send any data, you can have power on, but if you don't send any data, they won't do anything. They're just there. So you have to get some kind of data to the beginning of the light. So that's the reason I told you with a little bit of tinkering, you can make Twinkly work. You can make Omni work with the rest of the setup that we have. It does take some tinkering to get it to work, but it does work. And it's software setup. Basically, you're using software to tell it what to do. The way that we're presenting it to a lot of the commercial installers is, if you don't want to do the sequencing, which is what you do to tell the lights what to do, then that's where the app comes in. You just press the button and it changes it for you. That's instant data. It's already an effect that's already done for you. So it's already sending the data for you. It's less of hard work from you to go into the software. We've already done the legwork for it, or Experienced Lights has already done the legwork for it. So you don't have to do that. That's the whole point. And if you come to us and say, hey, let's say your customer wants a huge mega tree, but you have no idea how to sequence it, we can do that in-house for you. You tell us, hey, we want this effect. We want snowflakes coming down. We want, twinkling lights every once in a while. We'll do that for you. You just upload it to the controller and you look like a superstar. That's pretty much it. We could do that for you. We work with a bunch of sequencers that can do that for you. So the guessing game is really just, can you install it? If you're able to install it, we're able to program it. That's pretty much the way that we work. And if you are able to press a button on an app, then you're already halfway there. That's literally what it's going to take for you to be able to get that going for your side of the business.
And the great thing about the RGB, because we just had a Chick-fil-A approved yesterday, a little $20,000 deal, which is a lot for a Chick-fil-A. Most people say they're cheap. It's a lot for a Chick-fil-A. But the thing about RGB is you don't have to wait till November to install the damn thing, because it's like, well, if you want to do this big screen at your drive-through that's an animation, let's do this shit now for 4th of July. Or, let's do it for Halloween, and we can do it, well, maybe not Halloween, but a fall theme, and then it just switches to Christmas. You can get that stuff done way earlier. And a lot of people, they don't even realize that how RGB takes you out of Christmas and puts you into an all-season type of application. And it's very user-friendly, like you were saying, right? Yeah,
I think you hit it right on the head, man. The fact that you have to sell it as year-round use.
Yeah.
If you're just selling it for Christmas, you failed already. It's year-round use. Especially if you're like in a hotbed of like sports. Oh, that's the easiest sell right there. If you show up with the team sports, team colors right there, you've already won them over. They're like, oh, okay, that's it. I could put my team sports on there, and you come to us and say, hey, we're doing Seahawks. We're doing Seahawks, or we're doing Kansas. We can make an effect that has those colors already built in, and you just have to upload it to the controller, and you're done. So your customer just has to press a button, and it uploads it, and that's it. All right, Kansas is playing today. We want the Kansas colors. All right, Kansas is not playing today. Just put the regular colors, and that's it. And that's the cool thing about it. It's that simple now. It takes a lot of legwork for you guys. The software side is the most difficult side. So what I tell the installers is, you guys do the installation. We'll handle the software side of it. We can handle the software side of it. We can do it for you. And as you progress towards it, you can, if you want to learn it, we could teach you how to do it. But most people don't care to learn it. They're like, hey, I just want to install it. I want to give the customer what they're looking for and go on to the next project. So that's the kind of services that we're able to offer as well.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
What you got, Laura? You got another nerd question?
I mean, RGB and all this stuff has come so far just in the last few years. It's really kind of overwhelming if you think about it. But yeah,
it's gotten easier. It is overwhelming because
overwhelming, like how great it is, but how easy it is now is really fantastic.
The goal is, I talked to a lot of the leading guys in the hobby. the goal is get it to the point where grandma and grandpa could do it. If they could do it, then we've gotten to a point where we can do it. Right now, we're almost there. We're not completely there, but we're almost there where grandpa and grandma could do it. Because even grandpa and grandpa, they're like, well, what's an app? So, you know, that's,
True.
you know, so if we can get to a point where they don't have to do that. They can press, we can get it directly on a control, press number 1 for January, press number 2 for February. We can get to that point, then grandma and grandpa could do it. We're winning. We're almost there. I mean, if we got it in an app, putting it on a control should be super easy to do. But that's the direction that the RGB is going, and it's going to get there. Because then it makes it where the point where you just give the control to the customer. Here you go. Here's the control. Press the colors that you want here. Call it a day, and you're done.
Well, Mynor, if you wait long enough, the older people become grandma and grandpa. So
we are grandma and grandpa, so we can do it.
Dude, I thought I was talking to 22-year-olds.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was
confused. Yeah. So let's talk about something that's really topical right now. Is Great Christmas Light Fight, because like if you speak to Matos and a couple people, there's a collection of people around the country. When you go to the trade show, everyone like Johansson, everyone knows someone who's been on the Great Christmas Light Fight, and nobody has won, right? Nobody in the little crowd of the RGB crowd. Have you been on there? And what do you think about the show being canceled?
So I am one of the only vendors that was not on the Great Christmas Light Fight, and is an RGB vendor. So just I put my hat on that one and give myself a thumbs up.
Okay.
I'm one of the only ones, but the majority of them have been on it. I mean, you have David Heese from Experience Lights, JR Metals from Metals Designs. You have James from Bosco Studios, and you know the list goes on and on. So a lot of the RGB vendors started off as competitors on there, and then were able to push their company forward from there. How I felt about it, I think I was disappointed. I felt that it was getting a little bit too pixel related, and I love pixels, but I also like traditional lights. So I felt it was getting too pixel heavy, and also I felt that it was getting really expensive. I don't know if you guys saw some of those shows were like, whoa, that's a lot. Like, holy smokes, that is a lot. So I think the end user probably felt that it wasn't reachable for them anymore. I felt that maybe they should have had like different tiers. Again, this is my opinion. And we've had this conversation with a ton of other people, and a lot of them agree with it. They should have had different tiers, like super heavy hitters, then you had the techie level, and then you had the traditional lights, and then traditional lights went against traditional lights. And, I think it should have been, or a mixed group or something. I don't know. I don't know what could have made it better or what could have made it worse. But I do know that it was sad to hear that they got rid of it. We were at the, man, I forget. I travel so much. I forget what mini it was. It was the Nashville mini, and somebody brought up, hey, we should start our own great Christmas light fight. Just a bunch of tech nerds from the hobby, and we all travel to random people's houses and give out awards. Whether it's going to happen or not, I don't know. I don't know if a bunch of people are going to like a bunch of nerds in front of their yards, giving them feedback. I don't know if that's what they want, but I think that I'm hoping maybe somebody else picks it up, maybe Netflix, and takes it a different direction, or Peacock. They're always these new streaming people are always picking stuff up, so it's an opportunity there for them maybe to pick it up. It didn't do that bad viewers wise. It was close to 2 million viewers. That's a episode. That's not bad.
ABC. Well, I think you said it best yourself. If you start selling these RGBs as Christmas, you're already gone wrong right there. And there comes a time where it's not exactly Christmas. It's an RGB light show, and it's not the traditional thing that you see on street to street neighborhoods. It's extravagant, and it takes a lot to do it, but it's not exactly a traditional Christmas. And I think that's what makes our industry so awesome, is even though there is cooler things out there, they want the basic static C9 bulb, and that's what they want because that's how they grew up. But I think as grandma and grandpa, fall off the conveyor belt and the new generation becomes tattooed ear gauge grandma and grandpa, I think RGB will definitely be, this is when I grew up, we had RGB, so I think those traditions might change, but right now, I would see that.
Well,
say,
I mean,
go ahead.
I think I agree with you 100%. I'm a traditional guy too. The cool thing about it is like X Lights and Lightorama can both do traditional lights. They can, Lightorama can do the AC lights a little bit easier than X Lights. X Lights can do it as well, but Lightorama gives you that option to mix both of them together. You get a little mix of, hey, you can do AC lights controlled. And then the way that I like doing the show is having lights, on, and then they twinkle a little bit. So they still give you that traditional look, and that's what a lot of people are looking for. And then all of a sudden, every 15 minutes, boom, there's a song. And then that song goes into that tech level. And you're like, with that, where you catch that wow factor, but then it goes back to the traditional. And people are like, okay, I'm strolling through the traditional, but I still get that wow factor. And I noticed that in the Great Christmas Light Fight, the ones that did that were the ones that won. The ones that were able to do tech and traditional together, they usually won because it brought that nostalgia. It's that nostalgia back and that warm feeling. The new techie lights, they don't give you that warm feeling. I think the traditional lights do, but you still
and the drone show. Don't forget and the drone show and the fireworks and the drone show with fireworks and the drones. I mean, the whole thing.
and it's cool, going to be traditional. Drones are going to be traditional. It's going to replace fireworks. I don't think it's ever going to actually, I'm going to take that back. I don't think drones are ever going to take fireworks away. I think fireworks is just, again, that nostalgia, like, oh wow, and it's but I do think that wow factor with the drones is there, and it's definitely something that it just wows you, and so it just again, but then you have the fireworks, and people are like, wow, we're going to stay for the fireworks, so that you can't take that away from people.
But it's cool. And I tell you what, the coolest thing that I've seen, and I might be wrong about this, Laura.
It's very possible.
I've been wrong about a lot of things, but I'm going to say this is the RGB community is so strong. I thought the Christmas light community was like that. And whenever you get into distribution, it really tears away at it's a real niche industry. You would think everyone who's in this industry, it's like, man, we're all in the Christmas industry. But when you start selling, that's what kind of makes the competition and drives people apart. But when I notice the RGB, like you say, hey, I got a light show, they're like, oh man, we go to like 13 minis all over the country and we're all together. And you're like, oh, well, tell me about your light show with these products. They're like, oh, well, I got this product from this guy and I got this from that guy and he helped me with these pixels. And then I got the controller from him. And everyone's like working together in the RGB. And I kind of get envious of that it's a niche community, but everyone's kind of like together helping each other, from home enthusiasts to people who are true professionals. Everyone works together, even with innovative ideas of, I got this cool product and maybe that works with your product and we could put things together for this guy. You don't see that kind of stuff in the Christmas industry as much, in my opinion. And I'm kind of envious of that. What do you think?
For the most part, yes. I mean, there's always infighting. I think you guys know that. It's, like you said, once money gets involved, there's always going to be infighting. But for the most part, like
for the most part,
Ken from Wired Watts, like he sells it. Like I said, we travel to these things, and he says we're frenemies. He's like, I don't wish any ill will to you, but we're competitors. So if there's a bid, I want to win that bid over you.
Sure.
So that makes sense. But when we're at these minis, we go to dinner. We're talking about innovations. We're talking about products. How business is going, and we pick each other's brains. And this, same thing with the Experienced Lights, James. It's just like I said, we all, when we go to these minis, we're all hanging out together. For the most part, we're all just trying to enjoy ourselves. And I go with the mindset that I'm going to these minis to shake hands and kiss babies. I'm there to enjoy myself, be social, get to know the community. They get to know me. That's when and the minis, it's something that I don't know if the standard Christmas side has something like that. Minis is something new to me. The Halloween side didn't have anything like that. Transworld it incorporates something in the East Coast and Midwest where they have like the pits for the to compete who has the better actors and stuff. That's probably the closest I've seen, but I don't think I've seen that in the traditional side of Christmas. So the mini thing was a new thing to me. I'm like, what? You guys get together and go and talk about Christmas on a random Saturday in March? It was just a random thing, but it actually ended up making cool experiences because every mini is different and you get to meet some really cool people. I look forward to the minis now. Like, all right, I'm going to go to the South Carolina mini. I'm going to go to the Utah mini. I'm going to go to Minnesota. And I've never even been to these states before. So gives me a chance to go check out these states. So, yeah, it's the minis are awesome. If you
when you say mini, it's a mini expo.
Yep. Yeah. A lot of them are. I mean, I think the Nashville one had 150 plus people. The Florida Mega Mini had 200, 300 plus people. These are small. They become small expos. They have enough people there to drive a business. And you get to go over there and talk to people and pick their brains about what works and what doesn't. And that's actually what led us to a lot of the improvements and products that we have. I tell people all the time, if you have something that you haven't seen in the market, bring it to us. If we think it's viable, we'll make it to market. The permanent lights, that's exactly the landscape lights, all that. That was because somebody said, hey, right now I can just get warm white out of it. It's almost the same cost. Can you make it RGB for me? Sure. Let's look at the housing. Can I get the housing and change the components inside and make it RGB? Yeah. Okay. Let's do it. And we create the PCB for it. We design it and bring it to life. So if there's any, contractors out there that you're like, hey, I'm looking for this specific product, but it's not RGB, but I need it RGB, let us know. And if it's viable for us, we'll bring it to market.
All right, Laura, you ready for some good stuff?
Okay.
All right, look, Minor's probably going to walk us through.
It's been good so far. Let's hear it.
Well, no, this is like the grand finale. This is like when all this stuff starts going off. Watch this. Okay. So this is, tell us about this. Where we're going to navigate. Walk me through this. What is this?
So we decided, we get a lot of commercial work, and we have your Pixel Store website, but that's really for residential people.
Is this your brother that was just in the background?
That's my son, actually. That's my twin son right there.
Your twin son.
Your twin son.
When I tell people he's about 100 pounds lighter than I am, that's the main difference right there. But we almost look identical. I tell people all the time, if you're looking for me or you're looking for something, just look for my son that's 100 pounds lighter, and boom, there he is.
But anyway, so tell me about this website right here. What's all this cool stuff?
So we get a lot of commercial work, and we do our own drive-through up in Michigan, and it's called My Bright Lights, and we do a lot of products, a lot of commercial products. And the idea behind it was that we wanted to offer stuff that we use in our show, because people come to our show and say, hey, where'd you get that from? We're like, well, that's something that we're doing. So now all of a sudden, we have the mega bulb. That's similar to the ones that you got at Home Depot, but the Home Depot ones are like 2 feet tall.
Right.
But you can't use 2 feet tall stuff at a commercial site. You have to use something big where people can take pictures. So we got the mold done for almost a 7-foot bulb, and it's RGB, so you can control it and change the colors on it. And, that's the cool stuff. We have motifs now. So these are for walkthroughs. People are doing walkthroughs now. They're asking, hey, can we do that stuff? We're going to be introducing our Halloween side of stuff that we don't have any stuff there yet, but we already have stuff we're going to add. But we have a Halloween side that's coming, stuff that we use in our haunt.
This is a good price on this stuff, dude.
What was that?
It's a good price on this stuff.
Oh, it is. The idea behind it was that we wanted something economical. There's some great companies out there that are selling some really, really high end stuff, but they're out of budget for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And so it kind of scares people off. They're like, whoa, how much money for that? And so it's the same thing with us. When we were doing our walkthrough, we were on a budget, and we're like, hey, well, we can't afford a $20,000 snowman, but we can afford a $2,000 snowman. So, that's where, we're coming in with the idea behind it. The mega trees that are there, the easy mega tree, it's an electric mega tree that comes down all the way to 9 feet. So you do all the work, and then you press a button. It's electric, so you press a button and it goes up to 20 feet or 25 feet. So the cool thing about that is, for repairs, you don't need to get a boom. If there's a storm coming, you press a button down, bring the system down, keep it
Wasn't
safe.
that Boscoyo had that 2 years ago at Transworld? He had like the whole thing where it went up.
Pneumatic.
They have a pneumatic one. That's an air system, and the air system it's great, but the price point is really high on that for a pneumatic system. An electric system we were able to bring the price down drastically. A full 35-foot ready to go tree is $42,000. that same tree from Boscoyo is probably about $100,000. So because of the pneumatic system, it's a whole different, it's a whole different animal.
Wow.
Interesting. So you sell all this. So this is actually creations.yourpixelstore.com.
Correct. So that's like, again, that's our new website. It's mainly specifically for commercial. We've had some residential people order stuff. Again, I tell people all the time, don't ever count out the residential people. If they want something, they'll get it. So, we have residential people buying the Easy Mega Trees. We have people buying the snowflakes. They just love the snowflake. That snowflake's almost 6 feet tall. And for the price point, it's a great price point for it. We're going to have these in stock. We're going to be carrying about 5 units of each in stock. So for those that just hearing from us, or, maybe they get that October order, we might have that stuff in stock. Our goal is to try to have stuff in stock for you for those late orders. Like you might get that guy in November, like you said, hey, I just got this call in November. He wants something. Doesn't matter what he wants. Mynor, what do you have? We'll have a lot of this stuff in stock for them to be able to purchase that stuff. So it's not only drop ship, we'll have local stuff as well. And there'll be a different price point for the local stuff, because we have to then add extra costs to that. So there'll be different price points for it.
Hold on. So this big ass thing is $1,800. What?
Yeah, that's not built to size. So that one's not built to size.
I was like, this thing looks like 80 feet.
That's about 12 foot tall. Yeah. So that's about 12 foot tall. That's not built to size. So that definitely, that's good. That one definitely is not the one that you want. We can make it 40 feet tall, but the price on that is going to be a lot more than that.
Yeah, I was like, 1,800. Give me 10 of them.
He's like, sold. I'll take 10 and keep them in my house.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just put them out in front of the property. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see underneath the price of the measurements there.
No, it says right here 71. Yeah,
why?
Just under
length, height. Yeah,
height is about like I said, height is about 12 feet. Yeah.
But still, 12-foot snowman, 1,800. Like if you have an HOA, like most of the HOAs, in my opinion, that we come around to, they got a $10,000 to $20,000 budget. It depends on how many people are in the HOA. That's what determines the budget. How many houses are in there, the average value of the house, and how many houses. But most of the ones that we do about 30 HOAs. And there's some with like a $1,000 budget. You're like, sorry, I can't do anything with that. But when they got $5,000, $10,000 budget, or they go $20,000 and $30,000 budget, we have all of those. But when they have a $20,000 budget and they're saying, I want some pieces, you're thinking, I can do the lights on the roof and then a couple little, reefs and bows, but any of these pieces are so freaking expensive, and it's hard for the customer to understand that one piece is $15,000 that you're wanting. That's just one piece. No lights on the roof, no reefs, no bows, no sprays, nothing. Just that one piece is $15,000. And I'm looking on your website, like, hold on, there's some pieces that might be able to fit in these budgets. Hold on.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, the most popular one, hands down, has been like
the reindeer,
the trios, something like that, like the trio. But that's the price for one piece right there. Just know that. But like they buy the trio because even the trio is like $7,000, but that makes it full. They can take a full picture, with that there. They have a trio of them there. They get the stars, the snowflake, the large 6-foot snowflake. They really like those. What we're calling social ops. Those have been the most popular this year for us, hands down. Those right there, they just gives an opportunity for people to go up there, put their face in there, take a picture. If you put your mouse on it, you can actually see the actual product itself. So that's really cool about it. Like people go up, take pictures. Those have been the most popular ones, hands down, for us this year. I think they're going to be really popular because people, we don't even call them photos ops anymore. They're social ops. They're taking pictures to put them up on social so people can say, look what I did today. I got to be a reindeer. And so that's the cool thing about about all these things. They're big enough where people can take pictures and interact with them.
Yeah, no, I'm very impressed. I cannot believe it's my first time looking at this.
Yeah, because and there's one thing we just added today. If you go back to the shop, I think if you go back to the shop, we just added it today. Actually, sorry, go to Christmas.
Okay,
there you go. It should be, and go to default. Go to default and put new on the
default
top right. Scroll back up. There you go, right there, default. Let's go to new.
What am I doing?
Drop down in the default.
Drop down right there. Click on it. Yep. It's a drop down, and you want to click on you. We just added some interactive spots. People have been asking for interactivity, and so we want.
What is it called?
It's just put VMX spot. You can type it in on the top. There's a hourglass looking magnifying lens on the top where it says login. Yep. Just type in spot. There you go on the left side.
These?
Yep.
Oh, is this the ones you walk on?
Yes. So the idea behind it is people were wanting something that people can be interactive with, but was outdoor rated and was sturdy. So these are made out of stainless steel and tempered glass.
Because they had those pads. I've seen in Transworld. They had
but those are more rubbery.
Yeah.
And they're not flat. So what we ran into the issue with people stepping on those, when something's not flat and it's rubbery, it's become slippery and ankles get twisted. So these are more flat. These are laid flat. In fact, you can dig a hole around it and put it completely flat, so it actually looks like it's level to the ground.
Oh, that's cool.
And so that's the cool part about these. And we'll again, these are just plug and play. You plug it in, and then kids can go on there and just start stepping on it, and it sounds like a piano.
Wow.
Very cool.
What was that movie? Big?
Yeah. Big.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody said that. They said you need to check out the movie Big. You're maybe the second or third person that said go watch the movie Big, and you'll know what we're talking about. You need to redo that. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, but now I have to go watch it.
Yeah, you never seen that movie?
It's a good movie.
How old are you?
I'm 41.
Oh, well, you're old enough to know that one, right?
No, he's not.
He's not.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to go back and look at it. He said, you got to, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to go watch it. So now I got to put it on my list of movies to watch.
Oh no, we're going to do it right now. Hold on.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Give me 1 second. We're going to do this right now. We're going to do this right now. Let me see here. Stop screen, share screen. Come on, girl, get your old one over here. Yeah, you got it, girl. Yeah, I think it's right here.
Neat.
Oh, okay.
But he actually starts playing a song here in a minute, I think.
Piano lessons. 3 years. We do. Every day after school.
So you get the point.
Yeah. Okay, now I guess I do have to get somebody in there to do that. Yeah, I've never seen that movie, so I
feel like a freaking grandpa now with I know the grandpa movie, and Minor's like, I'm only 41. I'm too young to know that one. Like, wow.
Yes.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Awesome. Yeah, I've never seen that movie.
See, now you don't have to watch the whole movie.
The funny thing is, I love Tom Hanks, and I've never seen that movie.
So
that's awesome.
Well, that's all I got. I mean, you got a cool ass website.
It's awesome website.
You got a cool ass website. Crap. You got a lot of cool stuff. I mean, the things that if you're in the Christmas business, most people, I would say, they love the Christmas business. The worst part of the Christmas business is when it's over, the installation part, and then you have to take it down. And then you really feel like I could really run a company. I would love it if this just kept going like this. But then they go back to spraying people's driveways off, pressure washing, or they go back to building fences. They would love to stay in it. They just don't know how. And RGB is how you stay in the lighting business throughout the year. Yeah. That is the bridge that you stay always lighting, and you can install in September. Your season can start in August. Your season can start in July, June. I mean, it never has to stop, but you have to add RGB to your portfolio of services that you offer. And your Pixel store, definitely, I would say that's a great place to start. If not, hang out there and stay there. You might not even want to do Christmas. Just stay with RGB, right? Mynor?
Yeah, no, absolutely. For me, the simplest thing is sell it as year-round lighting. You can sell it where you can make warm white. You can create a cold white out of the RGB. We actually, a lot of our products have the RGBW. So we have a separate white channel because people were like, well, people want, pure white. So we created a lot of our products with that intention that our products are going to work year round for you. So yeah, I make sure that you guys follow us, make sure you guys check us out. We are always releasing new stuff. It's year round. Make sure that you guys push it as year round, holiday stuff, and just don't sell it as Christmas lights. Once you sell it as Christmas lights, you've put it in a niche, and you've shortened your old with season. Sell it as year round lighting. Even security lighting, because some of this stuff is so bright, you can use it as security lighting to just make it brighter outside. So just there's different ways of approaching it. And if you need help with that, Ron can help you. I could help you with that direction of how to do that. So, just keep again, my number is on the website. Reach out to me if you have any questions, or you're like, hey, I'm interested, but I'm completely stuck. How do I go from here? Just reach out to me and we'll try to guide you in the right direction.
That's all I got, man. You got any parting words, any final words? I do have the website that's already loaded on Facebook into our deal, and I'll have the website on the Mastermind so everyone can look at it later. People are like, hey, man, I'm busy. I really want to know like what's going on. I want to watch, but I don't get off of work till 7, because they're doing something else besides lighting, which they do, and then they do something else. So I went ahead and shared that. But any final words or any final nerd questions, Laura? You said you had a whole bunch of them.
Well, I'm pretty sure.
And then you had 2 questions and you ran out of steam.
I did not. I was just interjecting them here and there because everybody doesn't want to go through all that all the time.
I want to go through one more.
Okay, one more. Just one. Okay. Lord of the Rings or Sons of Anarchy?
Oh, man. So Lord of the Rings is a whole different, it takes you to a whole world. I love Sons of Anarchy, man. That's a tough one.
That's the California one too, isn't it?
It's pretty much like sword fights or street fights. I mean,
yeah, exactly. They're both great. I mean, they're both great in their own. Man, I'm gonna say I'm gonna have to go Lord of the Rings only because it's more nerdy. So I would, but Sons of Anarchy was really great show, man. Really I really love that show. It's one of my top favorite shows of all time. That I think they did a great job there. But yeah, Lord of the Rings is super nerdy, so I'll take that. And there's the lore behind it, and there's books. Once you have books, it makes it super nerdy, guys.
Oh yeah.
So you have to, if it has books, it's nerdy. And if you haven't read the books and you watch the movie, you're missing out on some stuff.
You missing out.
You gotta watch it and read the books, guys.
Jesus, you're like totally speaking Laura's language.
I know, I'm really happy right now.
Harry Potter, dude. I was at Universal Studios. I was the only guy there that has not seen Harry Potter.
Wait, then Ron, I'm gonna have to join you.
What?
Because I've never seen Harry Potter.
Oh,
and everyone was like, "You've never seen Harry Potter?" I was like, "No," but the whole entire amusement park was full of. I mean, even dads. All the dads had the shirts and stuff. I couldn't believe it.
I don't know anything about the movie. I've never seen it. I've never read the books. It just never caught my attention. I think it's too nerdy
for kids.
No. It's too kids. I don't know. It's never caught my attention. My sister,
I'm glad I'm not alone here. See, Laura?
No, my sister is a Harry Potter fiend. I mean, she has the hat. She got the wand. she can literally say every word in the movie. That's what she does, but I never caught my attention.
All right, so here's the final question, then we're out of here. I do appreciate you coming on today. Hopefully you'll get some exposure and people talk about it. I'll make some clips and we'll have a little small clips of this. But I think one of the most important questions is there's a lot of people who offer RGB and RGB products. Why would someone want to go with your Pixel store for their purchases and that experience?
We carry a lot of stuff in stock. A lot of people do drop shipping, and that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. But we actually carry this stuff in stock, and a lot of it is our IP. So we own the mold to a lot of those products. So if there's feedback where we have to change stuff to make it better, we can. we can make those changes almost instantly. So we've done a lot of that with a lot of the products. So that's the cool thing. It's been tested and true. And because we make the changes and it's in-house stuff, we're able to change with the generations when the technology changes and calls for it. So that's a cool thing about us, Your Pixel Store, is that it's our stuff. A lot of it is, of course, stuff you're like bullet pixels. You're like, I've seen bullet pixels everywhere. That's everywhere.
Yeah.
But the Pixel Pop, the Pixel Pop is our stuff. It's our brand, our product. We have the patent pending on it. That's our product for it. And those are the type of things that we bring to the industry. Those are the type of things that we want to bring to the industry, things that make it easier for you.
Wow.
Cool.
Any final parting shots, Lara?
No, it's awesome.
Thanks, Mynor,
really
man.
great.
You have any questions for us or anything?
No, thank you guys for having me. It was a lot of fun.
You.
I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Mynor Mendoza, everybody from California. Thanks, brother. All right, cool. Yeah, that was Mynor, babe. What'd you think about that?
It was good. I really liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah, well, you never get a chance to talk any kind of nerdy stuff because your husband ain't a nerd.
Yeah, he's not.
Yeah, your husband ain't a nerd. But all right, so we're gonna end this out with a little God thing. I do appreciate you. Thanks for coming on, and we will definitely see you every single Wednesday at 3:00. That's the Christmas Light Installers Mastermind. Please like and subscribe to our channel, and if you want to be on the show, holla at me. You hear me?
I thought I lost it all. Then I found out God was still working. I thought I was done. He was just tearing down the old me. Yeah. It's a God thing, God thing, God thing, God thing. It's a God thing. It's a God thing. Came a long way, lost in my wrong lane, trapped in my own pain, broken the whole day, saved by a strong name. Look at me now, man, it's gotta be a God thing. It's a God thing, built from the floor, walked through the storm and came back with more, locked in a place where I couldn't ignore. God broke me down, just to build me for war. Yeah. Young in the circle with smoke in the air, jokes in the circle like nobody cared. Big came around in the cigarette shed, lost little kid acting grown and prepared. Then came the X and the coke and the broke. Then came the stress and the lies that I spoke. Then came the nights with no light and no hope, drowning in shame with my hands on my throat, chasing the high while my life went low, smiling outside while my soul moved slow, running from truth that I already know, digging a hole where the pain could grow. Had open doors but I walked past grace, had good people but I pushed that space, had real chances but I lost that race, had God calling but I hit my face. It's a God thing. Came a long way, lost in my wrong lane, trapped in my own pain, broken the whole day, saved by a strong name. Look at me now, man, it's gotta be a God thing. It's a God thing, built from the floor, walked through the storm and came back with more, locked in a place where I couldn't ignore. God broke me down, just to build me for war. Yeah. Then came the rap group, soldiers for the Lord. People with less giving got so much more. Half what I had, but they praising the door. Made me look twice at the things I ignored. They had a smile with a little in hand. I had more stuff but could barely stand. They had peace that I couldn't understand. I had pride trying to ruin my plan. They thank God for the smallest thing. I sat back like, what kind of joy is this? They had light in the middle of the struggle. I had darkness in the middle of gifts. God was showing me people with nothing still had everything deep in their soul. I was sitting there full of excuses, still too immature to let go. He whispered first, but I ran from the sound.
Grace reached out, but I kept looking down.
Truth stood close, but I kept moving around.
Till he shook my life,
and it all hit the ground. Oh, I had the chances, the door, and the time. Had all the warnings and still crossed the line. Had people praying and speaking life, but pride had me deaf in my soul. Went blind. The prison came and the noise was still. Cold hard walls with a real hard chill. No more running from the truth I killed. Had to sit with the man I had built. Thought about days that I threw away. Thought about people I pushed away. Thought about prayers I refused to pray. Thought about God making one more way. Torn down low with my face in my hands. Broke down slow till I started to stand. Piece by piece he rebuilt this man. Grace got a hold and rewrote my plan. Now I look back and it blows my mind. Lost so much, but I gained my spine. Wasted years, but redeemed my time. God took the wreck and made purpose shine. It's a God thing. Came a long way.
Lost in my wrong lane.
Trapped in my own pain.
Broken the old days.
Saved by a strong name.
Look at me now.
Man, he's gotta be a God thing.
It's a God thing.
Built from the floor, walked through the storm and came back with more. Locked in a place where I couldn't ignore.
Oh,
God broke me down just to build me for war. It's a God thing. Scars on display.
pain in the past, but I'm here today.
Could have been gone, could have lost my way, but grace stepped in and called my name. I didn't get here by accident. I didn't rebuild this by myself. From the smoke to the broke to the walls to the calling is a God thing.
God thing.
Get busy.
It's a God thing.
Go!